Is Donald Trump playing with fire, poking the Chinese bear? Can we expect some good news from the trade talks in Washington on Thursday? And finally, does Josh Frydenberg need to stop impersonating a kangaroo caught in the headlights? Yep, I know I said it last week, but I'm saying it again because it's pretty important. I'm Peter Switzer and I'm mad about money. Okay, I know I've raised this question before. Is Donald playing with fire, poking the Chinese bear? I think the answer has to be yes. We saw today in America the producer price index fell by 0.3%. That's the biggest fall in 8 months. Now, we don't need inflation to be falling in America. We want inflation to be rising because that tells you that the US economy is getting better, not worse. We also saw business optimism falling as well, small business optimism, and that's been pretty solid, a bit like the US consumer. And we saw last week manufacturing in the US looking disappointing. This trade war was supposed to help US manufacturing. It ain't happening. So Donald has to make a decision that he has to actually get a deal come Thursday. And that brings me, if you could ring the bell, guys, that brings me to the second topic, namely, yes, I rang the bell. The second topic, namely, will we get some good news on the trade deal front from the talks in Washington on Thursday? Now, Larry Kudlow is the advisor to Donald Trump. Larry used to be an anchor on CNBC, but was also a former chief economist at Bear Stearns well before it fell apart in the GFC. Now, Larry actually hinted that we could actually get some surprisingly good news on Thursday. Market loved that hint from Larry. Larry very seldom does that kind of thing. But then Donald comes along and slams a blacklist on 28 companies, which means they cannot sell or trade in the USA. That ain't good ahead of the trade talks. It's the real poking of the Chinese bear which ain't going to help because the Chinese will retaliate before Thursday. And then, if we don't get a deal, what happens? The market gets worried, and the more worried it becomes, the more likelihood we'll see a stock market sell-off. A stock market sell-off will do nothing for confidence and demand, investment, consumption at a time when the world economy is slowing down. Donald does not need the trade deal to look really bad after Thursday. But I gotta say, doing this 28 companies blacklisting, this has to be his ultimate negotiation play. If it's not, it's just the behaviour of the mad king of the USA, and we really don't need that kind of thing. I hope he pulls it off. I hope, I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't work Donald Trump out, but I hope he's really pulling off a fantastic play where he's nasty before the negotiations, he's really nice in the negotiations, and we get a trade deal on Thursday. Fingers crossed. Finally, Josh Frydenberg. Good man, intelligent man, the right man for Treasury. But a lot of treasurers start off tentatively, and I think he's starting off tentatively. He has to step up because the economy needs him to do so. We don't need any more interest rate cuts. The Reserve Bank will keep on doing it because they have to, because in a sense the government's not doing enough to stimulate the economy. Sure, I'm a person who's been arguing for budget surpluses, but budget surpluses, when an economy is slowing down, turn quickly to deficits if the economy slows down further and further. Because what happens? People lose jobs, they therefore don't pay taxes, and the government has to pay unemployment benefits, and you get a budget deficit anyway. If Josh stops looking like he's a bit shocked at the responsibilities that he's got and just says, right, we're going to do something here to stimulate the economy. I don't want any more rate cuts. Rate cuts aren't the best way of solving this problem. If he stepped up and said those kinds of things, people would be inspired thinking, hey, we're going to treasurer like Keating, like Costello, powerful, impactful, and has a vision. He's got to do it. If he doesn't do it soon, he may well regret the fact that he didn't step up and do what he needs to do. I'm Peter Switzer. Yep, I'm mad about money.